the hardest part is done, getting in. And now, sometimes it's a slip, sometimes your opponent blocks it, but when you're in, you have to make it count. Because that's the hardest part in my mind of any takedown is the actual entry.
Yep. We always call it, and in my career, I've always called it the void, because I was always the shorter fighter fighting taller guys, and everybody I trained with was taller than me. So each time I would try to get to them or get to that entry, as you're calling it, I would always get hit. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking scared to cross. I'm scared. And then my coach was like, why are you scared? And I was like, because there's a fucking void there. I have no idea what's going to happen. You're either going to knee me, punch, uppercut, a kick. I might run into something. And that's why for me, sometimes I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to, he was like, dude, just walk in there. Just walk in with your fucking hands. And you kind of do it. Yeah. You kind of walk in with your hands up super high with your high shield. And a lot of people, they don't realize that. I'm like, oh, Dricus, he's using his high shield to get in there to see and get your reads on. And that's...
also, to keep that high shield, you get a lot of guys as they shoot in beautiful takedowns. But if something, like you said, that void, if something was to happen, then you get that unlucky KO. You get knocked out and... you might have won the fight, but that's how our sport works. So with that high shield being, like, if something is thrown, you're protected. You're protected, or at least to a certain extent. But yeah, that's a perfect example. And, saying just go for it, because if you half-ass the entry, there's no way, not at this level, that you're getting that takedown.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're trying to be cautious of the entry, and then you can't, it's too slow. Once your opponent sees it, you have to kind of bite down and go for it and try to be as safe as possible doing it.
Yep. No, like I said, that's one of your attributes that you can't teach, is that you never give up on a failed takedown. Like, even all the takedowns you get, like you said, it might be a slip. You are able to make that slip work for you and capitalize on it. Like when you did it against Izzy, and Izzy was running away from you, you stayed on him, you hit him, he slipped, you jumped on him, took his back. And I remember watching, I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, how the hell did that literally just happen? You're like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, fuck, oh shit. He got the job done. So I've always wanted to ask you that. I was like, you have this unorthodox cadence style that you go about your fights. And you even recently post on your Instagram saying like, hey, this man can jump. I'm like, well, of course you jump. But I think you were trying to play homage into your unawkwardness style.